Hey, Al, we might actually be able to get loaded on this up. We might actually be able to, and we're going to get to that. Welcome to episode number 79 of the Loaded on Lansdowne Red Sox Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Chikaris. Alongside me virtually, as always, is Andrew Andrews.
All right.
Super producer, Andy. How's it going?
I'm excited, man.
Yeah. Good news.
Well, but I don't know. Either way, I'm kind of excited, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm fired up if the season doesn't happen because it'll just give me shit to scream about. So I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, talking about like actual baseball games that happened like last night or something is going to be refreshing to talk about because we haven't done that since.
We'll see.
My God, the end of last season.
Listen, hold on one second before we even get going. The way you're talking. Let me tell you a story, and no one's ever said a story like this before. When I was young, my neighbor, he raised chickens. And I went over there and I said, "Hey, Mr. Neighbor, can I see your chickens?" And he said, "Yeah, they just laid eggs." And I counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I said, "You're going to have 6 chickens." And immediately he smashed 3 of them. He said, guess what he said to me?
"Don't count your chickens before they're hatched."
Exactly that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And actually that kind of brings up a point that I'm going to use to close out the podcast. So we're both on the same page. So in any case, so we're going to start out, obviously, the MLB Players Union and the owners could not come to any sort of agreement. So it basically, what does it do, Andy? Like basically defaults to the original agreement they had in March, correct?
Listen, it's so ridiculous. I mean, the Players Union, everyone talks about Major League Baseball, how their Players Union is the most powerful in all sports, and it's all true. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with any of those fucking assholes involved in it right now.
Right.
Okay? And they are blowing it. And Trevor Bauer said in a tweet, "So we gave up shares of playoff money, eliminating the qualifying offer for 2021, paycheck advance forgiveness, COVID-19 protections, and protection for non-guaranteed arbitration contracts for next year in order to hold on to our right to file a grievance." Literally, it's like if you were looking at a house.
Yeah.
And you go, "How much is it?" And they go, "It's $300,000, but we'll throw in the washer, the dryer, all brand new, the fridge." And you go, okay, my counteroffer is, I'm going to still give you the $300,000, but I don't want any of the extras.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much.
That's what that union did. That's the deal they made just because they had to say no.
Right. But and look, we've talked about it before, and we're going to sound like a broken record here, but everyone is thinking about 2020, and no one is thinking about the foresight of the sport in the future. That's always been my issue with this.
You mean
right?
the work stoppage?
No, just like baseball being irrelevant in general. I mean, it already is, and it's like not being like, hey, we should probably play. We'll be the only sport on TV. Let's get this done as quickly and as safely as we can.
We're talking about starting the season July 24th, dude.
Right. I mean,
July 24th. And you and I were going, when this happened, when it first started, we were like, wow, man, they're going to probably start the season right on July 4th and just crush. And now all we get to look forward to is fucking Hamilton on Friday night on Disney Plus. That's your big July 4th.
That is. My daughters are pumped. They're like, "You gonna?"
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a musical kind of guy, so
yeah.
I'm all right.
Oh, hey, that's all good. I was in South Pacific in high school. I played Luther Billis.
Cool.
All right. So in any case, so here's some of the.
Once again, I was having sex.
So here's the deal. 30 man rosters, all right? And then that fluctuates from here to there. Goes down to,
and they can only trade, I think, on the roster. I heard about when the trade deadline comes. I just saw that today. They can only trade people on the roster.
Yeah. And it's weird.
Can't trade prospects. Can't trade. Yeah.
The roster fluctuates. The trade deadline is going to be August 31st. And then, of course, some of the rules that they've been toying with anyway, where a runner, an extra innings, a runner starts on second base.
Which I love.
The batter who will make the final out in the previous inning would start the extras on second.
Oh, that's too bad. I wish you could.
Look, I don't. I want to see how this works, right? Because I'm topically, I'm not really a big fan of like,
What a better time to do it, though.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the perfect time to do all of this stuff, Andy. And
this is a pretend season. It's
right.
At the end of the day, it's just whoever wins the turn. You know how like soccer does like the league champion and the tournament champion, the cup. This year is just like a cup. It's fine, and I'm not gonna call it an asterisk. You're still the World Series champion. Whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the asterisk thing in this.
Okay.
But like, universal DH.
We should plan.
What's that?
We should actually talk about what we're.
We did talk about it, but but listen, here's the deal. We're both so on the same page that it's just like, it's like,
there you go.
That's why.
Magic.
We both think great minds think alike here. But universal DH, which I love, I've always been a fan of the universal DH. Watching pitchers hit is brutal. I don't care. And yes, Fatso Bartolo Colon hits home runs. And yes, it's fun to see Rick Porcello, hit a 3-run double or whatever it was off Max Scherzer. But ultimately, it's boring as shit, and I don't want to see any of it.
No.
I don't want to see John Lester up there trying to hit. He's got one hit in his entire career. I mean, come on. All right. So if there's a rain delay and it doesn't go 5 innings, those games are put on hold. There's not even a, because
they don't. Maybe we'll figure out how to if someone's tied.
Yep, absolutely. And then the spring training stuff, they're going to stagger the players, so they might. I think it's they might do like pitchers and catchers, and then they'll bring in the outfielders, and then they'll bring in the infielders. So there's not a ton of dudes.
Well, some of these idiots haven't figured out not to be going out and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, it's
the Phillies, right?
They
think they caught it. I remember they were talking to Felger and Maz. They think they caught it when they went out for food. And like the place they went is like a place that doesn't have tables. You know what I mean? Right, it was a stand up, drink heavy, and scream at chicks.
Right.
Try to get them to hear you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science, man. They're not. They're not going to the outdoor seating at the Olive Garden. These are places where there's like a swim up pool. And there's like 40,000 people, they're in Florida or Arizona or Texas, somewhere
doing that.
Somewhere in the dirty South, and they're going crazy. They're sucking face and sucking down beers, and it's, a disaster. I get it too. But I mean, hey,
maybe take a couple months off.
Those days for us have passed. So we're like, we're finger wagging, but I do understand why they're doing it. All right. In any case, Andy, you wanted to talk about, so this season is basically going to be extremely strange, whatever. So you wanted to talk about where do we go from here? What's the number?
Yeah, I mean, this leads into the collective bargaining, correct?
Yep. Because it's
is it after next year or after this year?
I believe it's after next year.
Okay, so after next year. And I could see a holdout or a lockout even before if somebody wanted to push a deal. You know what I mean? I'm still not sure that this year is even going to happen, number one, because they're talking about, like, Houston might have to move somewhere else. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to fix baseball. This is a huge concern. What is the estimate right now? Like 60-70% of their viewers are over 65.
Yep.
Like, Mark, we're not even the old guys yet.
No.
And we are fucking old guys.
Yep.
I mean, in lifestyle, everything now.
I know.
It's brutal. So my question is, you got to fix things. And really, what do you fix first? And I kind of narrowed it down to two things. One's on the field, and one is just the business.
Right.
And, A, do they have to get salaries under control? And when I say that, I mean both ways. The crazy $50 million a year for 37 years has got to stop, And the Padres and the Royals, spent, $36 million? You know what I mean? There needs to be a floor. There needs to be a ceiling. So that's one thing that has to happen. There's got to be some kind of salary cap.
Right.
Which then means owners got to kind of open up their books, which then means you need to have a revenue sharing like the NBA does or like the NFL does, where, okay, here's our TV deals, here's our shirts, and here's blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We get 50, you get 50, 51, 49. They got to figure that out.
Yep.
Okay? Because right now, it's like a fucking secret how much money these people make.
Yeah.
And Boris is right. You keep saying you're losing money. Yeah, but you're also losing money because you own the bar across the street, because you own the shopping center attached to the thing. That's where they're getting killed. Okay? So they got to fix that.
Yeah.
And I always want the talent to get more money. Okay? So I'm not saying we make a situation where the owners get more money. It's just, it's spread out around the league better. You know what I mean? So really, if you think about it, everybody makes money.
Right.
Okay, as opposed to a few guys. So, do we fix that? Or do we fix on the field?
Baseball.
Are we fixing the product, right? Are we making drastic rules to get the game faster? I mean, I'm talking at this point, especially this season, if they came out and said we're doing 7 innings a game, I would have been like, whatever, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's been my solution. You cut out
the easiest fix that doesn't truly change the game.
Right. You cut out the 8th and 9th inning. You go 7 innings. That's what I always thought.
The union's against it because you need less people. You
right.
know what I mean?
You don't need those relievers.
Yeah.
But look, that's what they do in youth and high school games, because the talent's not there. So you have kids that aren't throwing strikes on the reg. So you have to cut those innings because on the reg. On the reg, my God, get with the times, man. You are old, Jesus Christ. All right, but
no. I was like, maybe a couple. Anybody can play.
No, but dude, I coached JV baseball, high school JV baseball. There was some days where I was like,
you
oh my God, throw a strike. It's just
I know.
So they have to do that.
And I think the Red Sox are going to stink. So I think they're going to be absolutely irrelevant. It's crazy. I think they're not going to make a fucking 16-team playoff. Right? That's how bad I think they're going to be.
Yeah,
wrong. I would love to be wrong.
Well, by the way, we'll get to this, but
they're fucking.
They agreed to 10-team playoff, which I love, but I don't think the Red Sox.
Is it 10-team?
10-team.
Yeah, it's 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I thought you were just exaggerating. So it's
Fair.
yeah. But I love. Instead of it being whatever it is, 6 or whatever. I love the 10 format. So there are things that I want to see play out with this thing. But to your point, all right.
What do you need to do? And I want to dedicate my life to really fighting for one of these two things. I need an argument because year as it goes, I think the Red Sox won't be involved, so I kind of don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Can I offer a third option?
I need something to dedicate myself to.
All right, I want to offer a third option.
Really?
Hire someone who can actually make these players likable and interesting, okay? And can lead a team of marketers that can put together commercials where America is going to see exciting moments in baseball and know the players' names because they're actually saying it. Listen, you talked
So,
about.
so you're three. So your term 3.
Yep.
Is you're not going to change any rules. You're not. You're going to have crazy, ridiculous contracts, but you're gonna do like the NBA model where you're going to lean into the dude. Like the guy, right.
Here's the thing. I think we've talked about this before. You talked about it the other week when you talked about Tony Maz and Felger doing they were holding up the pictures of the players.
And no one knew who the fuck. No one
knew. Okay. So I was over at my cousin's house the other day. She has a son. He's a freshman in high school.
Oh,
okay?
no.
Huge basketball fan.
Oh. I already know. Go.
And I was sitting with him and I was sitting with his father, and his father loves the Red Sox, right? So we were talking about some things. And we were discussing just what we're discussing now. And he said to his son, I want you to name 5 Major League Baseball players right now that aren't on the Red Sox. Okay? He said Mookie Betts, David Price, because he's right. They're not.
So right away he went to the freebies you should be using. Those should be pinky and ring finger guys.
Right, exactly. And he's like, and his father was like, oh, come on. He's like, well, Dad, technically they're not on the Red Sox. And I was like, all right.
You're hitting technicalities out of the gate.
Mookie Betts, David Price, and Mike Trout. He could not name one other Major League Baseball player from any team. And his father watches baseball nightly when it's on. Not to say he sits there with them and like they're super invested, but I mean, don't you hear a name or two? No,
That's
Andy.
true.
No, Andy.
I tell you though, like if and I'm not gonna do it right now, but if you don't, but if like say the number was like 20, I would name a lot. I might get there, but on the way, you'd be go retired.
Yeah.
Retired. You know what I mean? I would hit a lot of retired people, I guarantee.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you right now off the top of my head. I can't name one person who's on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Who's the dude with the dreadlocks? Center fielder. Is he still there?
He was McCutcheon.
Was that like 10 years ago?
He was traded to the Yankees like 3 years ago, dude.
What's his name?
Andrew McCutcheon.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So okay, never mind.
Right. I mean, come on.
Who was the guy who died? What's that guy's name? Perez. Who's the guy that died in the plane crash? In like the 70s.
Munson.
No. On the Pirates had a guy.
Roberto Clemente.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. Right. It's preposterous. So no, look, I understand what you're saying. I think the problem is, you do have you have an entity that has so much money and they put so little into promoting their players or making them likable. But I got to tell you,
they put their money into like 6 guys, and they really did.
Exactly. I mean, listen, after attending 3 Zoom meetings with the Red Sox, the first one was pretty entertaining. The other 2, these guys have no personalities, so they do have their work. They do have their work cut out for them. I don't know, man. I don't know what the deal is.
So that might be the hardest thing to fix, though. To be honest.
Going back
Come on, stop changing the rules.
Going back to your 2
my game. Which side are you?
I think salary caps would actually do a lot to help the sport.
I'm leaning that way, and I want to say changing the rules. But I think the salary cap thing would have there's really no loss in it at all. You know what I mean?
So it's the only sport that doesn't have one. It's so stupid.
Yeah. If you change the rules like drastically, there's repercussions we might not think about yet. You know what I mean?
Right. But
what happens. We know exactly what happens when you have a salary cap.
Right, because we've seen it in all the other sports.
Every single team, and in this case for baseball, the numbers are bigger, so every single team would get about, I would say, 4 or 5 guys, 6 for the good teams maybe, pitchers, position players, whatever, and that would be the equivalent of the 2 stars on the NBA team. You know what I mean? You have your huge money guys. How many? 6? Yeah, the 30-man roster. Your gigantic money guys.
Let me ask you a question.
Max deal, 6.
Do you think, because baseball is so specialized and the positions are so different, do you think there could be a way where you could do 2 different salary caps? So you have a positional player salary cap and a pitcher player salary cap. I think that's doable.
Honestly, that doesn't sound that crazy.
You know what I mean?
Especially if you're going DH.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you can have your stud players. So let's say your Mookie Betts of the world, your Rafael Devers of the world.
I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna be honest.
But then you also have your Chris Sales of the world. So you have. It's
if you think about it, so that means you have the pitchers are a 12-man staff.
Yeah, well, it depends on what the team wants to do.
Usually, though, it's like an NBA team.
They could carry 15 pitchers if they want.
But essentially, you have an NBA team.
Right.
So that gives you 2-3 max deals right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then your position players are another, 18 guys?
Yep.
About?
Yep.
So maybe that gives you 4 max deals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I say 4 max deals, 2 for each. Right? You have 2 max deals. You have 2 max deals for the players, 2 max deals for the pitchers.
I think you need more. I think you need a little bit more on the, but whatever.
Yeah, well, to make it 6. I don't know.
Yeah, that can be worked out. That can be worked out, and the revenue share, whatever.
You do, 2 starting pitchers and your closer. There's your 3 max deals.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I would assume that would be the logic that most people do. I mean, did we just fix baseball?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
All right, this podcast is over.
Dude, we got to go. Yeah, that's...
Send a commissioner right now.
Thank you. Good night. All been great.
And by the way, to our credit, this didn't come up from anything I've heard before. We literally just figured this out.
Just right now, we figured it out. 2 separate salary caps. No, but I think one of baseball's biggest problems is these fucking teams that are absolutely spent. You can bitch about the Red Sox. You can bitch about the Yankees. The Cubs. They're putting money in people's pockets. They're spending money. The Royals, the Padres, I don't know, there's a million. The Tigers, the Rays, Diamondbacks right now. I mean, they are Seattle. They are doing fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yep.
And you gotta help.
The thing is that here's the other thing. Big market teams bring in fans from their market, whether the fans are traveling or the fans are displaced, they bring them into other teams' stadiums. So like when the Red Sox play the Angels, you don't think every masshole that moved to California to like do whatever isn't at that game? Of course they are. So that, that's it. That's the money.
Get your own fucking fans.
Get your own fans, damn it. All right, let's move on. Speaking of fans, Sam Kennedy, according to Jason Mastrodonato, I know his name. I just can't read. My eyesight is terrible and the lighting in here is bad. Mastrodonato of the Boston Herald and other reporters, Red Sox president Sam Kennedy said, it's a possibility that Fenway Park will be able to host fans sometime this year. There are clubs around Major League Baseball that are anticipating having fans in their ballpark. There remains to be seen whether that will prove to be wishful thinking. The last thing in the world that is going to happen this year are fans at Fenway Park. That is the stupidest thing I've heard anyone ever say. Why even give hope? That's wicked dumb.
I mean, you can say hope, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe something gets worked out, but I think no way.
Anything short of a vaccine where we all get it and that's it, shit goes away, no way.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem necessary. I mean,
I
get his jobs. I get it.
I was thinking of this, Andy, because I do have the season tickets. I was thinking that they might do like an invite and they might give us different, way away from everyone else. Like you have to wear a mask until you get to your seat type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that. But I don't know, man. I just think I think that's super risky, and there's too much going on there to pull that off. So I think that's
say they only allowed like 3,000 people in the stadium. I don't know what they would do.
Like, you wouldn't be able to move around. Like that sounds cool, but you would have to
in the secondary market, I guess, would be huge, right?
What are all the scalpers from like Southie and Dorchester doing?
It's like the dream, right?
Like,
They better fucking learn how to use. They better learn how to use a goddamn computer.
Exactly. All right.
But you're right though. Moving around, walking. I don't know.
I don't see it happening.
Do it next year. It's fine.
Yep. I'll see you next year. I'll see you next year. Honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fine.
Hopefully. Jesus.
Just put on a TV show. Put on a TV show.
Yeah. All right. So I do want to talk about some players. So Alex Verdugo, remember he had that back issue in spring training?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Before I have to admit something, and this is how much you talk about knowing players and being out of it.
Yeah.
When you texted me about we're going to talk about this, it autocorrected to Alex Verdugo. Okay. And guess what? I fucking looked up Alex Verdugo because I had no idea and I know who he is now, but like it slipped my mind that he was on the team. I was out of it. Whatever. Okay, Alex Verdugo.
Yeah, I guess he's on the team. Did you think about
it? Whatever.
Fun
I was kind of wondering why honestly, you said the Alex Verdugo thing. I thought like maybe he was a reporter, then something was happening, or he was like I don't know, someone got caught with a bag of dicks or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? It was all that.
Yeah. Fun fact. There was a Red Sox player. Remember Nick Yasowski? He had to retire because he had vertigo. He couldn't play anymore.
Oh, I think you say he got caught with a bag of dicks.
No, well, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to Google that. But Verdugo's back, is going to be fine. Evidently, he's ready to go. Colin McHugh, who they signed as a free agent from Houston. He's a relief pitcher, but he might be in the mix to start. And now that Chris Sale is hurt, he probably will seriously be in the mix to start. Those guys.
Sale's more than hurt. I mean, he's non-existent.
Yeah. Oh, Sale?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Sale's out. But McHugh was like, they didn't, he was kind of going to be a swing guy, yada yada yada. But I think he's in the mix to be a starter.
Okay. By the way, though.
Yep.
Alex Verdugo. Okay. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, he's young. He's only have one.
I mean, last year he had 343 at bats. So I mean, He was okay last year. The year before, he only had the 77 at bats, and I think that had a lot to do with that was when the injury happened. Right?
He's all projection. He's projected to be a very, very good baseball player.
I mean, dude, he batted .294, which is nice. He only had 44 RBIs.
Yep.
I mean, was he a leadoff?
No, I think he was. I think he hit lower. He leads off for me in MLB The Show when I play on the Nintendo. Because I traded him for Mookie Betts. I did a
again. Spot. Yeah. But yeah. Are we excited about this guy?
I'm excited that
this is fucking Coco Crisp in center.
Yeah, it might be. I'm excited. I'm just excited that he's healthy, and that we don't have to. I think if this was a normal year, we would have had one of those who did the Red Sox acquire? Kevin Pillar, right?
Yeah.
He was a nice little player, but he's not. He's not some sort of stud.
Who would bat like 250 with 34 RBIs? Oh well.
He's your fourth outfielder, and he would have started the season in Verdugo's place. So,
what's your starting position lineup?
Verdugo in right, Jackie Bradley in center, Benintendi in left, Devers, Bogarts, probably Michael Chavis at second, and Mitch Moreland at first.
He's still around.
And then Vasquez behind the plate.
Yeah.
So that's what it would be.
It's not awful. It really. I mean, it's
the pitching's awful. The lineup isn't awful.
The pitching right now. Their lineup, Nintendo Ice Hockey.
Yeah.
Every position has the medium guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
that's kind of what they are right now. Every position's kind of, besides your third, I think your third baseman, your shortstop. So I do think they're special players.
Well, yeah, third shortstop and JD Martinez.
Everyone else is middle guy.
But those are three studs. I mean, you have three studs in your lineup, and
no one sucks in your
no one sucks. I'm going to tell you, no one sucks because
stop.
Benintendi.
One first, no.
Jackie.
Hey, come on, dude. He sucks.
Well, he's streaky, which isn't sucky. It's just infuriating.
When you're playing 60 games, streaky might work.
Bingo.
So,
might be MVP this year. Are they going to have those awards? I don't know.
Oh, Jesus, the MVP.
He just goes on he goes on a 30-game tear, hits 500 for the season, and gets the MVP.
And some shithead team gives him like $83 million.
That's right.
We got the MVP for the next 7 years.
That's what's going to happen. So, by the way, as far as postseason and MVP awards and all that stuff, I know it's a bananas year. Nothing is normal. So
I just want playoff MVP.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he won ALCS MVP.
Yeah, no, I'm saying because the whole playoffs is really the season. Let's be
honest. Yeah.
They should do a playoff MVP.
I can't wait to see that. To be honest with you. What? But I just want to get into a couple of quotes here from some former NBA players about the NBA season, because here's the deal: the NBA just did coronavirus testing. And they are way above the national average. They are at 5.3% of their players have already tested positive very recently, whatever it was.
And they announced that they are full speed ahead. We will see you in Florida.
Yep, absolutely.
Florida right now is a humid, sweaty goo of coronavirus, just like fucking driving down the street. On segways, there's fucking coronavirus everywhere in Florida right now, dude.
Remember when we thought the heat was gonna kill coronavirus? Yeah, not so much.
It seems to be all right.
So Shaquille O'Neal said, "I think we should scrap the season. Everybody go home, get healthy, come back next year. Just scrap the season. Just scrap it."
I think we scrap it.
To try to come back. And do a rush playoff as a player. Any team that wins this year, there's an asterisk. They're not going to get the respect. All right. So I want your thoughts on that. Because here's what I say to respect about a championship this year. And those of you listening audio, I'm throwing up 2 middle fingers.
2 egg rolls. Yeah, no one. Listen. Okay, people at the time might say it's an asterisk. 10 years later, how many championships did you win? No one's gonna. It's not. What does that mean? It's an asterisk. Like it didn't happen?
It was the coronavirus year, Andy.
Listen, I don't want to fucking ruin Shaq's little daydream world of lollipops and friendship that he lives in. But, they're not playing sports because it's just we love sports. It's the thing to do, all right?
Is that where he lives?
Fucking lollipop world, all right? Oh, we're not playing. You're
surrounded by lollipops and sunshine. I love it,
dude. Nobody's fucking throwing a baseball or hitting or shooting a basket because to win honor and I mean, what are you talking about, dude?
Right. Well,
people are cashing in.
To your point,
play. Well, Shaq, I got to be honest. I'd rather get paid.
Yeah.
You already made your money.
I was just about to say that. To your point, a lot of current players are getting pissed at the older players, basketball, baseball, etc.
Or even the big market veterans who are like, oh, I don't know. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I make $900,000 a year. I hope I can do it for the next 3 years because someone's going to figure out I fucking suck at basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Exactly. And that, that's the issue. Yeah, I don't know. Come back next year, he says. So, for baseball, let's say, let's go with some obscure team. So let's say the Pittsburgh Pirates inexplicably go on a run and win the World Series. I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah, dude. What do you mean an asterisk? You won the World Series. This is what the World Series was that year.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was a 60-game season. At least they freaking had it. 1994, they didn't have it.
Maybe we learn a little shorter season, more people in the playoffs could maybe make a little bit more sense. Like,
absolutely.
Again, we're back to being drastic. What happens if baseball does 82 games and 16 teams get in the playoffs, just like every other fucking sport?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously not football.
Yeah.
But
no, I know what you mean. But yeah, basketball, hockey, and then you have.
Would it really be that bad?
You have the grand tournament. It's like.
Like instead of just worrying about, ooh, everyone's streaky, let's hope we catch them at the right moment. Maybe guys get fucking nuts and they actually play well when it counts.
Right.
Because you play well when it counts. Not because you get lucky and that's when you hit your hot streak.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right. You lose, you go 10-20 in the first 30 games of the regular season, and you play for the the Oakland A's or the Kansas City Royals, and you're just like, well, this ain't happening, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
maybe baseball doesn't do that anymore, and you just fucking win games when the season starts.
Right.
Like every other good team and every other good fucking sport.
Totally agree. All right.
Stop.
Yeah. What? What's up?
Yeah.
You got anything else? I'm done, man.
No, I've been stewing for 2 weeks, dude. I feel good. This has been like therapy for me because it's so annoying that they haven't figured this shit out. It's so annoying how much they don't understand. I'm on a precipice. I really am.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm always gonna watch because it's on, but there's a chance it could just be that. You know what I mean?
Andy, do you know how much more money I have in my wallet right now that I haven't been? What is it? So it's almost July, right?
It's crazy, right?
April, May, June. I've been to 0 Red Sox games. I mean, I'm spending at least $100 at a Red Sox game when I go. At least.
Dude, I don't have season tickets. I've saved tons of money because I haven't been to a fucking bar watching the Red Sox.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But that's how much I've saved.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I'm starting to learn to live without it.
Yep, and that's a dangerous thing for the sport, and that's kind of what we've been talking about for a while. So, well, listen, everyone, thank you for joining us for episode 79 of the Loaded on Lansdowne Red Sox Baseball Podcast. I'm Mark Chikaris. I'm your host. We have Andrew Andrews. He is your super producer, and we will see you hopefully next week, and we'll talk more baseball.
Peace.
Peace.